Hi everyone, Alchemist here. Today, I'm going to address a subject that many people go through. It's a little bit scary. It's not very common. It's a little bit obscure. It's occult. Some people go through it and some people are curious about it. Some people want to know what's going on, what really happens. And that is sleep paralysis. I want to make this subject like fathomable, understandable to you, because you hear a lot of things, and I've experienced sleep paralysis firsthand many times, so many times, not just once or twice or 10 times or 20 times, way more than that. And I've had different scenarios every time the sleep paralysis happens to me. I've had different things happening, and I want to share with you what I think sleep paralysis is and what is the meaning of the experience. Sleep paralysis happened to me way before my spiritual awakening, way before I embarked on my journey. It happened to me years and years and years ago, more than 10 years ago. And I was clueless about anything occult or spiritual. And sleep paralysis started happening to me. And I started doing some research because I was wondering what the heck is going on. And science, from a medical field perspective, science says that basically this sleep paralysis happens when you're going through a lot of stressful periods in your life where you're having a lot of problems, a lot of stress, and your mind is just having too much and it can't handle the stress. So that stress manifests at nighttime during the sleep. When you're sleeping, you basically have these paralysis, these sleep paralysis, because you're suffering from the stress that you're going through. So I was quite skeptical, but I still believed that was probably the reason. And it kept happening to me so many times. It was so frequent and so common. Not anymore. I'm gonna tell you why not anymore. But it used to happen to me so frequently that I started to wonder, is it really stress? Because I would not have stressful times and I would still have sleep paralysis. So I was really wondering what's going on. And then after I embarked on my spiritual journey and I came to the realization of who I am and what I'm supposed to do, I started connecting the dots and everything just fit in the puzzle. And now it makes sense. Now I understand why I had those sleep paralysis experiences. And you would hear a lot of things. Many people are curious about it. Some people say, oh, I've had it once. Some people say I've had it twice. Some people see different things. I'm going to give you my perspective because I've had it so many times. And I'm going to guide you through what really happens. So sleep paralysis, basically, it means that it happens during nighttime, in the middle of the night, while you're fully asleep. So what happens is that your eyes open and you're fully aware of your surroundings. You can see everything. But your body is paralyzed. You literally cannot move your body. You can't control it. You can't feel your hands. You can't feel your chest. You can't feel your legs. You can't feel anything. But you can see. You can see around you. So it is scary and it is freaky because if you're not used to this stuff and if you don't have a strong mind, you're gonna get scared. You can't control your body, you can't feel it, yet you can see everything. Why does this happen? Why does it happen? Because now you're almost in the spirit realm. You're like in this overlap between the physical realm and the spiritual realm. The spirit realm is where we go when we sleep, believe it or not. Our consciousness, that's where it goes. It goes into the spirit realm. That's why a lot of ghosts, spirits, demons, angels can come and talk to us in our dreams. Because we are in the spirit realm, so we can actually travel across dimensions. So in sleep paralysis, it's almost like you're there in the spirit realm. You're there because you're sleeping. And then all of a sudden, you wake up in the physical realm. So you're like in this sweet spot, this overlap between physical and spiritual, or spirit, in the spirit realm. And that's why you can't feel your body, because in essence, you're actually sleeping. That's why you can't feel your body. Your body, when you sleep, your body is not with you. It's only your consciousness. And this is the reason why you can't feel your limbs or your heart or anything. It's almost like you can just see, trust me, it's a very weird feeling. And why does that happen to you? It happens to you because you're gifted. Sleep paralysis, why no one experiences it? Why not everyone experiences it? Because it's for gifted people, it's for people who have a gift. People who can see spirits and ghosts. That's why many people want to experience sleep paralysis, and I've met them, and they're like, how I want to engender the experience. And I would always tell them, you can't engender the experience. It will happen to you if you're supposed to have it. It's the same as any people with other gifts. If you're a witch, or if you're a mage, if you have clairvoyance, if you have clairaudience, clairsentience, all of these are gifts. If you're gifted, then you're gonna have these kind of glitches, what I would call them, in the system. These glitches where you're gonna wake up, but you're still in the spirit realm. Kind of similar to astral projection. Kind of similar. Not exactly astral projection, but it's very similar. Because astral projection kind of works the same. The only difference is that with sleep paralysis, well, you see things that you're not supposed to see. Why? Because these things usually exist in the spirit realm. So a lot of people see different things. Some people see entities like demons. Some people see ghosts. Some people see scary stuff, like scary entities. I've met people who have seen super scary entities. And these entities, they know you can see them. They know you're gonna have a sleep paralysis because you're gifted, because you can see spirits. And they come to you either to suck some of your energy because you're scared and they feed off that energy, or to just play games and tricks on you to scare you so they can feed on your fear, again, on your fearful energy. Because sleep paralysis is associated with fear. So these negative entities, these malicious, negative, bad entities, they're gonna come to feed off that energy. So once you have the sleep paralysis, they're gonna be there. They're gonna be there, so they see you scared and freaking out, and they feed off the energy, and they enjoy it, and they're gonna try to scare you more. So that's why when people claim to see these dark figures or the raisin heads or many other things, it's because these entities are trying to feed off your fear. And for the longest time, I've seen different things. The scariest thing I've seen was this white doll looking figure. I know it sounds weird, but I was actually sleeping on my chest. And by the way, most of the time when I have sleep paralysis, it's either sleeping on my chest or sleeping on my back. I've never had it on the sides. I don't know why. Every time I sleep on my sides, I've never had it either on my chest or on my back. I've had it countless times in both chest, back. So once I was sleeping on my chest, and I felt like I woke up, my head of course was like this. I woke up and I was able to see my whole body was paralyzed, and I felt like something or someone was pressing my back around here, like just pressing and kind of suffocating me. And I closed my eyes because I'm like, okay, I can't really do anything in this physical reality, let me go back to the spirit realm. So I closed my eyes and I saw this doll, this white doll that's just hanging like this. And I don't mean to scare you guys, but this is exactly what I saw. By the way, this was in Japan, and Japan has the craziest ghosts and spirits. That's why they also have the scariest horror movies, because that stuff is inspired by reality, by the way. This doll, it was white, it was scary, and it was kind of like with the limbs, and it was kind of like moving like this, and it was the thing on me. It was that's what was pressing me, and I know it wasn't a real entity in the spirit realm that was doing that to me. It was attacking me, attacking my private space. And mind you, this is, I'm telling you the experience when the experience happened before I had my awakening. So mind you, I don't know anything about spirituality or even ghosts or spirits or the occult. I know nothing. So what I did, this is what I did. I literally visualized myself as I was seeing the entity. I visualized myself, and it was hard. I had to literally struggle, grabbing the entity from the back and grabbing it like this and slamming it on the floor, like just slamming it as hard as possible. And I kid you not, as I did that action in my mind, as I visualized it, the sleep paralysis disappeared, and I was able to move my body, and I freaked out and I stood up out of the bed. So mind you, I want to clarify here, I was not dreaming. I was awake, but not able to move my body, because the time difference between me doing the action and waking up, I'm awake already. It's not like I just realized, oh, I came out of a dream, you know? I was awake, it's just awake. So what's the lesson here? The lesson here is I told the entity or the ghost or the bad spirit that you're not here to control me. I control myself. I'm the boss here. So get out. Piss off. It's simple. How do you get rid of bad entities that try to harm you? You show them that you're worse than them. You show them that they can't do anything to you. You show them that you're the boss. And this is what most people overlook. They don't understand it. It's also what keeps people in fear. They think they're powerless. You're not powerless, you're powerful. As long as you have a strong mind. And I did this back in the day, again, before I knew anything about spirituality. Another time, because I'm trying to, it happens so many times, so every time I see different things, I'm trying to remember the most prominent experiences, because otherwise I can have all day long here speaking. Another time was when, and here I already embarked on my spiritual journey, and I had this sleep paralysis where again I woke up and I wasn't able to move, and the feeling is always horrific because you can't move your body. You feel like you're not in control, and all of a sudden I felt like I was inside of my mind, because I'm clairvoyant. So for me, the experiences come with seeing. I felt like my body, this door was opened, okay? As my body was paralyzed, I saw that this door was opened, and there was these stairs taken to some basement or taking something like down, like in horror movies. And my body was taken from the back. And again, here, this experience happened to me sleeping on my back. So now it's the opposite, sleeping on my back. I feel like someone grabbed me from the back and then just pulled me in the stairs. And as I reached down the stairs, it was this horrific, scary demon figure that just popped right here, right in front of me. Very, very scary stuff. And let me remind you something. I don't watch horror movies. I'm not a fan of horror movies. It's for people who think, well, maybe you're just, your mind is playing tricks on you because you watch a lot of horror movies. I don't. I never watch horror movies. I don't like them. And this, and from in that experience also, for me to get out of it, I had to, every time this sleep paralysis happened to me in the past, for me to get out of it is to fight the entity with my mind, because I can't move my body with my mind. So as it was dragging me and it showed up here, and I almost like it was almost like I tried to kind of like rise from the bed. And as I was doing, I'm like, no, you're not in control of me. And as I did it, and because I'm lost in time, I don't know if it takes a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds. I can't remember. As I do that, as I did that, I stood up from the bed. From being locked out like this. Like really scary stuff. Other times it would happen to me and I would open my eyes and I won't see anything. I would just see the room. I would see the room around and I know there's something there. And right away I would close my eyes and I'll be like, no. And I try again to fight the paralysis. And I try to remind myself, I'm in control, I'm in control, I'm in control. And try to fight the paralysis. And I always, after being persistent, I always get out myself of the sleep paralysis, always. But it comes with kind of struggle and persistence, you know, not with fear. Because the more you're scared, you're just gonna end up having a worse experience. The last, I think that was probably the last, I'm gonna jump directly to the last sleep paralysis experience I've had. The last one I've had, and that was before I really came to the realization of who I truly are, the mage, the alchemist, that can just thrive and do anything he wants, which is me basically. Before I came to that realization, the last time I had this sleep paralysis experience, something very interesting happened, and it never happened before, and after that I've never had it again. And I'm telling you this because it might help you break out of your sleep paralysis experience if you have it. I had this sleep paralysis experience where, again, same case scenario, I'm sleeping in the middle of the night and all of a sudden I wake up, I'm aware, my body's stuck, it's paralyzed, I can't move it, and then I see, again, with my clairvoyance, this entity right behind me, and this time again on my back, this entity behind me snatched me from here, basically from here, and it started, I kid you not, it started taking my my spirit, because we're talking about here, it's your spirit, it's your awareness that it's in play, not your physical body, because everything is happening in the spirit realm. It snatched me from here and it took me high, like I stood up from the floor, and so fast it was dragging me on the walls and on the ceilings. It's some horror movie stuff, like I kid you not, maybe if that's what they show in horror movies, if that's what they show. I was basically hung from here. The entity was grabbing me because I felt someone is grabbing me here, and I'm dragged on the ceilings, not even on the floor. And I've had enough. And what I understood, the entity wanted to intimidate me, wanted to scare me, because I have the gift of clairvoyance. I can see spirits, I can see, and I'm gonna get this into another episode. I irritate a lot of spirits. A lot of spirits don't like me because I'm powerful. So they try to harm me or annoy me, especially back in the day. It doesn't happen anymore. But because they can sense what I'm gonna do to them if they try. So as I was dragged, I just had this kind of strength that I just gathered, and I was like, no, release now. And I kid you not, this time I didn't struggle like I used to do before. I didn't fight it. I wasn't like trying to. As I said those three words, release, now. Release now. With so much strength that came from my mind. So much strength. I kid you not, as I said that, everything just vanished. The entity disappeared. I woke up right away. My body was not in paralysis anymore. All it required is 2 words. Release now. But it's the energy that came with it. The energy that you're not invited here. This is not your space. This is my space. I'm in control. I'm the boss. Now piss off right now before I harm you. And everything's gone. And after that, I've never had a sleep paralysis experience after that ever again. And it's been a couple of years since that happened. So it's like 2 years. It's been almost 2 years. So I'm here to remind you that these spirits, if you're gifted, if you have the gift of seeing or the gift of seeing spirits,